In this video tutorial, we are going to build from scratch the Advent calendar that you see on your screen. This is a monthly calendar where each date from December 1st to December 25th, when clicked, shows a dialog with a witty joke for programmers. The application is written in pure JavaScript and uses the MindFusion.Scheduling library. The calendar applies a custom theme, which we will write as well. We start by downloading the trial version of the JS Planner from MindFusion's website. When you extract the contents of the archive, you will find a folder called Samples, and there, in the JavaScript subfolder, you can see a variety of samples. We will base our application on the first schedule sample, which looks quite similar. We copy the web page and JavaScript code behind of this sample, together with the folders that it references, scripts and themes, in an empty subfolder that we'll use for our new app. Let's rename the files and delete the unnecessary content from the web page. Beside the web file and the JavaScript code file, we also renamed the theme. We want the theme for the schedule to be called Christmas, so it has to be contained in a CSS file with the same name. Then we can assign it to the theme property of the calendar object. There's more to do in that regard. All CSS classes inside the file must bear the name of the theme, so we need to rename them as well. Our Advent calendar now looks like the first schedule example, but uses a theme with different name. Time to customize the theme. The easiest way to do that is to inspect the names of CSS styles in the browser, discover the color names, and replace them with the new Christmas colors. Let's start with the header of day cells. We start browsing through the HTML elements of the page until we discover the one that colors its background in green. Here it is, line 197 in the theme file. Let's find that color and replace it with our new green colors from the Christmas theme. Yes, it works. Let's continue with the cell background. There are two colors for the cell background. One is for the selected cell and the other for the rest of the cells. The selected cell is deep pink. Now let's find out the color of the other cells. Here it is, line 191 in the style sheet. Let's replace this color with the Christmas red color that we have on Mind. We need to make the title label the same color as the rest of the labels, light gray. It is easy to find, so the change is fast. The last thing to change is the background of the title. We want it dark red. How are we going to add the background images? We copy the files in the project folder and use the CSS background image property to specify the image and its alignment. Keep in mind that the images are in a folder one level above the folder where the script is placed. We are finished with the theme now. Let's move to the functional part of our Advent calendar. First, we want to hide the default forms for the appointments. We can do this with the Show Forms property of the calendar class. We also want the calendar to show the month of December from the current year. For that to happen, we can use the Today method from the DateTime class and get the current year. As you can see, MindFusion components have quite detailed documentation, and you can easily search for API members and sample code. We get the current year from the current date and tell the calendar to show the 1st of December of this year. There is a small problem. We specify the month to be 12. The scheduling library counts the months from 0, so December will be the 11th month, with January having index of 0. The calendar renders now as it should. Let's delete the unnecessary code from the first schedule sample. We want to color the cells with no programming quotes in green and also change their background image. That is done easily through the BG cell property of the View Cell class. It represents the DOM element that is behind the schedule object, and we can access its style property. The calendar renders 42 cells. We can cycle through them and check if they fall on the month of December and are outside the interval from 1st to 25th. Our calendar looks beautiful now. Let's add the dialog element. This is the standard HTML dialog object, which we have customized according to our needs. We give the dialog absolute position and some styling. The dialog uses an image as a background. It is shown by calling the show method, or alternatively, show modal. We use show. So, when the right cell is clicked, we want to show the dialog. We need to handle the cell click event, so we copy the sample code from the online documentation. The event gives us arguments, from which we can learn the clicked cell and learn its date. We add an array with the codes we want to render, and check the members of the viewCell class. First, let's close the dialog, in case it's open. Then, let's take the clicked day. If the month is not December, we need not do anything, so we exit the method. If it is December, we try to get the quote for the day. If the day falls within the range, we show the quote. Assigning the quote to show is done in another method. It changes the content of the paragraph element in the dialog, in case there is a quote for the requested day. Before we test the application, let's not forget to initialize the dialog element. Yes, now the quotes show whenever a cell in the appropriate range is clicked. What we are left to do now is attach an event handler to the Close button of the dialog to make sure it gets closed. With that done, our application is finished. We have just created an entertaining Advent calendar for developers. Thank you for your interest. MindFusion wishes you a very Merry Christmas and a healthy, bright, and prosperous New Year.